Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Happy Monday. When you're lost in video game haze, it's easy to forget what day it is. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's having an amazing summer. We are into August already. Can you believe how fast this year has been going by? John Yumtop says, now we're playing with power, super power. Thunderpin says, hey, Vic, let's rip and tear in 16-bit. Yes, we are playing Doom. I've got my Analogue Super Nt hooked up, and I've got an FX3 cartridge custom made by Limited Run in partnership with Bitmap Bureau and the original Doom developer, the guy that kind of reverse engineered everything and built Doom for the Super Nintendo. It wasn't even really a port. It was kind of like from the ground up version of Doom for the Super Nintendo. Hold on, I got to see if I have the damn thing. I forgot to check. I'm going to be AFK for a second. I'm going into my my collection. I just have to see if I have the original cartridge. I'll be right back. And sound is crackling. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. Okay, does that sound better? And am I in sync? There's something going on. OBS just updated twice in the last week, and I don't know if my cam link is crapping out from my camera, but there's something going on. Is that better, though? Sounds good? And is my audio in sync? Is everything good? Let me know. The thumbs up. Sound good? Check. I'll keep talking. Do I sound good? Is it okay? Micah, I usually say I have to see if I have the cartridge when I need to use the bathroom. Super clear. Great. And I'm in sync? Yes, good. Okay. Good to see you. Blue Mystic Ninja, Krillin64, Frappier. Yes, great. Okay, welcome. Welcome, everybody. It's great to see you, Mike. I miss you, brother. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to pop into my collection. This sounds so ridiculous. And I'll see if I have Doom for the Super Nintendo. 1 sec. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, couldn't find it. I think I had it. I don't know if I have it now. But I've got it again. I've got it in brand new form. Now, this is a game that's made in partnership between Bitmap Bureau and Limited Run Games. And this beautiful little package arrived in the mail, courtesy of Audie Sorley over there, who's an incredible guy. We've had him on EP a couple times. Wonderful guy. He sent me a letter, and it basically outlines that this is, after 30 years, original creator Randall Linden, who worked on the original 16-bit Doom cartridge, and he worked his butt off to deliver this back in September 1st, 1995. Now, I think I did have the Doom Super Nintendo cartridge, but might have sold it or traded it. I don't know. I've got Doom on N64. I seem to remember that I have it, so it might be buried in there. I can't get to everything. It's a little messy. I'm in the middle of stuff. But this is not an expansion or touch-up. This is a top-to-bottom BFG-worthy transformation. In the 2025 version, you'll find all the missing levels, E1M6, E2M2, E2M5, E2M7, E3M5, and the entirety of Episode 4, totaling 14 additional stages. The frame rate is improved up to 20 frames per second, which I know, come on, bear with us, it's Super Nintendo hardware. And this is running on the Analogue Super Nt, which is pretty close to, hardware emulation, about as close as we get to an HDMI-enabled original Super Nintendo piece of hardware. It can do a lot more, though. It's an amazing machine. But across the board, everything has been improved. There's FMV in here. I haven't seen any of the FMV in what I've played so far. And what they've done is they actually, it's supposed to sort of emulate the idea of a new FX chip. We're all familiar with the FX chips used for games like Star Fox. Well, this is supposed to be like the FX3, and they're utilizing somehow, don't expect me to explain this technically because I can't, but they're using some kind of Raspberry Pi technology to create the exact idea of what it would be like to run off of a chip on a cartridge, on a Super Nintendo cartridge. I have to get Audie and Randy on to help me explain, to help explain what the hell all of that means. But suffice to say, this is the very best version of Doom for the Super Nintendo. They went back. Randy had this dream to fix everything, and Limited Run and Bitmap Bureau, who we know are such great kind of purveyors and protectors of the idea of retro gaming, worked with him to get that done. But the other thing that they've done in this, and which is really cool as well, is that it has Rumble in it. And so Limited Run sent me a Rumble-enabled controller to play this Doom. And the source code for Doom's Super Nintendo, as John Yamtoff is putting out there, was shared by Randy, and he put it out there. But this is all done in partnership with id and with Bethesda. It's got the Bethesda logo and everything. So let's see how this plays. All right, so we're going to just go from new game. I do have some codes that will allow us to check a couple of things out. But let's just see how this goes. Mike Micah says, Randy Linden is a magician. Yeah, he uncovered some horsepower and some secrets and ended up working with Microsoft. He worked on Bleem, and it's funny, we just covered Bleem and visited those studios. I did that interview, and Randy might have been there. I don't know. I don't know if you could have worked remotely back then. So it's likely he was there. I interviewed the guy that I forget how to say his last name, but he was there wanting to put PlayStation games on Dreamcast, and that's what Randy did back then. He was kind of the technician that made Robert, the president's dream come true, and then Microsoft was very intrigued by all of that. And anyways, his story is incredible. I probably met him or something along the way. He's a Canadian guy, too, that's worked in lots of different companies around the U.S., including Microsoft for a long time. Anyways, let's play a little bit of Doom for the Super Nintendo, and thank you to Limited Run for sending this out. This is pre-published, a pre-published cartridge, so they're still going through some stuff. I don't know if it'll crash or what. It didn't crash on me last night, but this is pretty wild. So this is Doom running better than it ever has. Here we go. I'm going to just go right in the middle. Hurt me, actually, we'll go Hurt Me Plenty. We'll just go knee deep in the dead. Here we go, guys. And thanks for being here, everybody. Some quick shout-outs, actually, before we jump into this gameplay. Maddie, I see you. Hi there, I see you. Thank you so much. Bill Hell is here. It's working. Lee Stevenson, yes. Coincidence Control, Grovel, Slide Away. Thanks for letting me know about the crackle in the camera. That's awesome. I usually like to, what happened, asked how long till the stream starts. I usually like to give people about 10 minutes. I go live and then I let everybody know that I am live. So it usually takes about 10 minutes before I go. And today I talked a little bit before we started playing. But it's good to see you guys on YouTube and on Twitch. We've got John Yamtoff and Waxy Residue, The Last Disciple. He says, if I see Doom, I click. Krillin64, all is good on your end. Frappier is here. It's great to see you guys. This is awesome. Steve Voorhees is here. Love your work. And thank you for subscribing. That's amazing. Oh, he's rating. Oh, that's incredible. That's even better. All right, you guys, let's play a little bit. And Fix It Richie says, yeah, Doom 1 to 3 is open source, I believe. Robert Tolan, Tom Gilder, Sotnist, Thunderpin. All right, and the one and only Mike Micah is here too. Yes, he put Dragon's Lair on the Amiga and PlayStation on the Dreamcast. That's right, Mike Micah. Yeah, I wonder if he, being a Canadian, ever got to meet my friend Sid Bolton, who was one of the world's biggest fans. Rest in peace, Sid. Miss you, buddy. One of the world's biggest Dragon's Lair fans that I ever encountered. We just had Don Bluth and Gary Goldman and some of the other Dragon's Lair creators on EP Classic a couple of weeks ago. It's surreal, man. There's a lot of alignment with what we're doing every week with the classic episodes. It's so wild. Okay, so I picked up some health bonuses. Now this game, the original game in 1995, we were running then, but just on the web. So our website at electplay.com was running. We had tons of articles. We had reviews going up. So it's very likely, and our website has gone through a million changes since then, and currently it's just really a conduit to our video material. But it's very likely back in the day we had a Doom Super Nintendo review up on the website, even though we were all transfixed by PlayStation launching back then. All right. Music's pretty rad in this, isn't it? I'm sure there is some buzz going on. John Yumtop says he just tweeted at Randy to see if he'll jump on. There's a lot of buzz about this cartridge right now, so I'm sure Randy's being besieged by interview requests currently. But it's awesome to see a veteran getting all of this attention. He's done a lot of stuff in the video game space, which is great. Okay, I got some shells, but I don't have a shotgun. And don't ask me to remember where everything is in the game. I played this stuff like crazy back then. Honestly, the Jaguar version of Doom was my sweet spot. That's where I played the original Doom the most. I love the Jaguar. I know I'm like one of 15 people, but I thought the Jag was such a great machine. I would love, and Mike Micah's on the stream where he was for a second. I would love an Alien vs. Predator Jaguar redo. If somebody could do that, that would be amazing. All right, here we go. That game was so cool. Okay. Fix It Richie, Doom cheat codes live in my head rent-free. Jaguar also had Rayman. Yeah, it was a good machine. Wasn't as good as the marketing, but it was a good machine. And it does have all the music, and it has Circle Strafe as well, which I don't know how to do on a Super Nintendo controller, quite honestly. But yes, it's improved. Oh, and there's rumble. I'm feeling the rumble in the controller, which is surreal, on a Super Nintendo cartridge. Oh, and Limited Run is releasing the source code for the rumble, so anybody that's developing new software for the Super Nintendo, there's a lot of indie developed stuff for these classic machines. They can put in some rumble code in there as well, which is great. Jeff Minter is the reason why I love the Jaguar. Tempest 2000, you kidding me? I did a fantastic interview. I believe it was Chris Kohler and Jeff Minter from Digital Eclipse. And Minter's company, Lamasoft. We talked about his collection, and that was one of the highlights. I can't even remember whatever year it was. That time is a flat circle, and it's so weird because of the classic stuff. I'm living in so many different eras at the same time, and playing retro games and remasters. I just got sent code for a bunch of arcade collections, which I'll be streaming soon. It's really crazy, man. To have been doing this for so long, and to have your classic stuff and classic games and retro remakes and things like this, it's like, what year is it? Yeah, I'm Doc from Back to the Future. Did I play the Doom expansion Legacy of Rust for the Doom 2 compilation from Night Dive? Lots of really cool stuff added in that, like flamethrowers. I don't think I did. When was that out? Oh, I need a red key. It's telling me. Game is talking to me right now. Yeah, I've been playing Shinobi and... Yeah, perfect example. Playing Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi. It's like, what year is it, Marty? Marty, what year is it? All right, it's the best. That's the way I like it, though. I like this mix of eras and styles. Plus all the movies that we're going to see. What the hell did we just see? Well, Marvel now, they're retro almost. Just saw Fantastic Four set in the 60s on a different planet. You know, it's wild. It's it's like a gumbo of like every influence, every style. Good Lloyd Vic. Hi there. Thanks, man. Night Dive's port and Legacy of Rust came out last year. No, I did not play that. That's why I'm streaming a little bit more, guys. Like I feel like I want to try to keep up a little more, and there's no way I can keep up with all the stuff that's coming out if I'm taking the time to go through the whole thing and then shoot a review and edit a review, and it just takes a long time. You know, I would love to be able to do that too, but then I'd need a little I'd need a little production team to sort of manage that output. So streaming is a very efficient way to get in, chat about stuff, play stuff, and it's just really freaking fun. It's fun to discover these things with you guys. They added multiple expansion packs to Doom 2 for free. Both of John Romero's new episodes were added. That's amazing. I'll have to download that to the Steam Deck. Uh-oh. You guys are over here. Oh, my shotgun's here, I believe. No. There we go. It's running pretty sweet, right? I know it's chunky. You know, these are big honking pixels for the Super Nintendo back in the day. But the illusion of 3D, oops, I'm falling, is much better than it was on the original Super Nintendo release. Getting lots of shells, but no shotgun. I blew past it somehow. Honestly, the Jaguar version was really solid. I really like the Jag version of Doom. Well, Randy Linden did. Apotec asking, didn't id program the original Doom SNES themselves? So I don't know if Randy was subcontracted by id and they took the credit for it. I mean, it's their game. But from what I understand, and I haven't done a thorough, and I've never spoken with Randy, or at least on camera, and I can't remember meeting him. There's a good chance that we did talk at some point. But from what I understand is that Randy kind of reverse engineered Doom and kind of made it from scratch for the Doom for the Super Nintendo. And that's why I think I have it non-stopulous. I think I have Doom for the Super Nintendo because I remember that red cartridge. I just couldn't find it on my my first look, but admittedly, some of the boxes are a little haphazard in there. All right, let's see if I... Oh, I'm in the goddamn acid bath thing. Oh, there's no jump. I'm dead. No jump in Doom. Good afternoon, CC. I'm just looking on the Twitch comments here, just going up a little bit. Stunt Race FX, Super FX Chip Waxy Residue, yes. All right, here we go. The music's great. All of it's cool. Now, I am not so encyclopedic in my knowledge of Doom, the original. I mean, I've played too many games, guys. It's just the fact. So I can't tell you what's different content-wise based on what I've been playing or what I've been seeing so far. But some of you purists, some of you, lifers that have like Doom sort of imprinted in your brain, you're probably noticing all kinds of different things here. But it runs pretty damn good, man. And the rumble is a revelation. Need the blue key. Here we go. What an amazing game, though. Good lord, all the secret entrances and everything. It's very forgiving. Alright, here we go. I didn't notice any way to change the aspect ratio or the screen dimensions or anything. I don't think I can do anything to impact the resolution at all. But I don't know if I can stretch the image to fill more of the screen. I don't think I can. Other Super Nintendo games on the Analogue, I think, scale up. There probably is a way. But since this is pre-release, I don't really want to screw around with it too much. I don't want it to crash. Alright, here we go. Imagine Hoju says the frame rate is definitely higher. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have frame counters or anything attached to my stuff here, but I saw a little piece on Digital Foundry about this game, and John Linneman was saying that they were looking for a locked 20 frames per second, which was a pretty big deal for a 3D game on the Super Nintendo. John Yomtop, somebody got... The frame rate is now 20. Oh, Randy Linden is in the guy that made this is in the Twitch chat. The frame rate is now 20 frames per second. Original version was roughly 10 frames per second or lower. That's amazing. Randy, thanks for jumping in, man. That's incredible. Congratulations on this release. Let's get you on camera at some point here. You can talk about your career and talk about this dream to get this made, man. That's so cool. Talk about perseverance. I love it. Pretty cool that you got Limited Run and Bitmap Bureau to kind of partner up to help all of this come together. I don't know how that all kind of worked, but it's cool. Like, two companies doing some great stuff out there. Randy, are you excited for people to be rediscovering this and recognize the challenges you faced originally, but just having fun with the game again, which is pretty rad? Randy says there was a real dream team that worked on the whole project. That's awesome. Okay, I need my blue key. And I need to not die. Let's go over here. It's a trip. I should have... let me do that. Well, then I'm going to lose where I am. But it's a trip to see the current Bethesda logo running on a Super Nintendo cartridge. The logo animation. Because Bethesda owns it, as we all know. Definitely excited. There's a blog post on, Randy's saying there's a blog post on Limited Run Games website that talks about the early development, and there's a second part of the interview which will be going up this week. Wonderful. Well, congrats, my friend. And I learned that you're from Canada. You're from Toronto. So kudos, my friend. I'm out of Vancouver. That's where EP was born in Canada. Okay, you know what? I do want you guys to see that logo intro. I don't know if this is going to do anything. Let's just try it. So I'm going to reset it. Let's see. Vancouver, we got some more Canadians in the chat here. All right. So this is the analog front end. All of this is pretty cool, right? I like this. I'm still waiting on that Analogue 3D, the Nintendo 64 that they have coming our way. Okay, so then I hit that and I press this, and it loads up. So check this out. Isn't that crazy? Flip the scores in Toronto, the id logo, all of this stuff just wouldn't run that slick on Super Nintendo carts back in the day. Is that your logo, Randy? R&R Digital? Bitmap Bureau. One of my favorite games over the last several years has been Xeno Crisis, which I thanks to Bitmap Bureau, they've sent me a bunch of carts, but I have it on a bunch of systems. I have it on Xbox and PlayStation and Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo and Genesis. It's an incredible game. Happy Monday, Samurai Wesley. Good to see you. R&R Digital is me. That's awesome, Randy. That's awesome. And Nintendo Boy is playing Duke Nukem 64. Like, honestly, what year are we in? Marty, what year is it? Okay, we're just going to... let's... I do have a couple of codes here, but I don't know. Oh, there's a level selection. Let's try that. I'll get my butt kicked. Okay. Okay. So this is new, I think. 8-6... I don't know if I should give this away. I don't know if I should give away. Do you guys want me to give away the cheat code that gives you the level selection? Do you want that? If you're buying this, do you want to have that, or do you just want to go? Okay, Randy posted it in Twitch, so it's happening. Not everybody wants it, but there we go. Okay, it's happening. We are level selecting. Look at this. Let's go to the military base. Let's do it. Cool. I think I just have the gun, so I'm probably so screwed. Yeah, I'm done. There's no way I'm gonna get past this. Okay. I'm not that good. Ah! I need a machine gun or a shotgun, please. I'll just stand back and shoot from over here. Oh, right, I've got strafe. And there is circle strafe added to this now. Oh, Jesus. These are rusty, like I am rusty on these controls here. Oh! Randy says the flicker that's on the screen when there's a lot of action has already been fixed. Yeah, I'm playing early code. This hasn't shipped yet, so that's pretty damn cool. First time chatter, Death Ovu says I got a strafe. I do got a strafe. I do. Like, it's like ice skating. I'm trying to figure it out again, though. It's been a while. Haven't been ice skating in a while, too. There we go. Yes! I picked up a clip. Okay, okay. Oh my god. Oh! Totally fun, Randy. Super fun and totally playable. Ah! Jesus. Yeah, I definitely need more than a handgun here. It's definitely much more playable than the OG SNES version. Randy, I'm wondering if you ever communicated with other developers that worked on other ports. Like, did you ever talk to anybody who worked on the Jaguar version, or did you talk to id directly about making the game for Super Nintendo? Or were you just kind of on your own? We didn't have Zoom back then. Oh, I'm trapped in there. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back to a different stage here. Is there a way to quit back to the menu? Oh, let's go to a different episode. Shores of Hell. Here we go. I had a couple of phone calls with John Carmack. Randy's talking. Yeah, Randy, we got to get you on, man. I gotta do an interview with you. I had a couple of calls with John Carmack during the development to check in on progress, but otherwise didn't speak with anyone else involved in any of the other ports. That's amazing. I don't think that would happen at all today. Obliterated. Just press the reset button to go to the title page. Okay. This game is so epic you can even run it on Alarmo. That's true, Avatar Guy. Well, we're in a different episode now, so this should feel a little bit different. Randy, did you port Doom to anything else? Nintendo was very happy to have the game on their system. Yeah, Doom was it, man. Before you were on the stream, Randy, I was talking about the Jag version of the game. That's the one that really hooked me. And I wasn't a huge PC player back then, so I had the Jaguar version, and I love that freaking game. Jesus, this is great. Just the SNES. That's amazing, man. And did you work on sequels, or was it just this Doom? Did you ever go back to Doom again? Picked up a clip. Loving the music. I don't know where to go. This is all like out of the memory banks. I have 0 armor. My face is super bloody. Never went back to Doom until this new version, but if sales are good, there is definitely potential for future ports of Doom 2, maybe Duke Nukem. Right on. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? You guys uncovered a whole bunch of ways to open up the floodgates for more Super Nintendo stuff. Gotta love the Super Nintendo. What an awesome system. I don't know where to go, guys. There's gotta be a secret entrance somewhere here. If you could remake any game, what would it be, Vic? Or see any game get remade, Avatar Guy? Honestly, I think a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 is Oh, that's where we go. Is something that definitely has to happen. I would also love to see a sequel to Saboteur. That's one that I think about all the time as well. The pandemic game. Not made during the pandemic, but made by a fantastic developer called Pandemic. Rest in peace. Saboteur was so good and so ahead of its time. And I would love to see more of that, so not necessarily a remake. John Yomtov said, I heard Randy's porting Metal Gear Solid to the Game Gear. Well, there was a good Metal Gear Solid game on Game Boy Color, but I would like a modernized update to Metal Gear Solid 1. Oh, there's a nice big shotgun for us. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oi! Oi! Relentless. And he sucked up all my shotgun shells. Actually, it would be cool, and I don't know, maybe Randy can speak to this, but it would be cool. Commercial break on Twitch. Need to sign up for no ads. Wouldn't it be rad to do like a demake of like Wolfenstein New Order for Super Nintendo? I think that would be so cool. So you use like old Wolfenstein aesthetics, but you dive into the new kind of adventure. I think that would be incredible. Yikes! Oh, this is a wild episode. Holy crap. Oh my god, I'm so doomed. Hence the name. Ah, what? Oh, I walked backwards. This is excellent, Randy. Congratulations, man. I keep teleporting out of the... I'm at the end! I rock! Am I at the end? No. I'm not at the end. I opened something. Oh, what is this now? What's happening? I'm changing the world. Okay. I thought I was at the end. So this is like blood acid that I don't want to get into. Can I activate this thing? Let's see. No. Alright. Maybe this opened up. Jeez, you see those, like those are 30-year-old assets, and you see them in 2025 and you still freak out. That's some good game design right there is what that is. Yikes. The sound effects are amazing. So, Randy, what I understand is you reverse engineered everything. Does that mean you, like, how did you get the assets? Did you, like, how did you do it in 1995? Like, let's talk audio for a second. How did you get the sound of Doom? Was that something that id sent to you, or did you have to recreate it? It sounds incredible. What a trip. I'll tell you something about John Carmack, too. I met him in 97, our first season, and still, like, one of the most intimidatingly intelligent human beings I've ever met. Like, just one of those people that you talk to and you get the sense that they can see the code in the world, like they can see the Matrix. Was that your relationship with John, or because you're also a programmer, you guys can see the Matrix together and just have a sort of even playing field conversation, or was he a little bit intimidating to talk with? I wrote a tool called Rip Doom that basically splits out the many pieces of the data. The audio was done by a couple of guys at Sculptured Software. Amazing. Amazing, man. You made a tool called Rip Doom. That's perfect. All right, let's... I only had 2 calls with John. Both of them were very brief, not really intimidating. I'm going to reset the card. 1 second. Is that going to come up? No, 1 second. It's on the analog, so it has to... I have to reboot the whole thing, I think, again here. There it is. And the Rip Doom tool and source is available on GitHub, on Randy's GitHub, if you're interested. Thunderpin says, I'm sure someone out there has created the Doom original soundtrack in Mario Paint. Yeah, I've got that going, Rand. I've got the shell off of the cartridge, and I've been pressing the little button. And I know you fixed the bug, and I think Analog's going to update the firmware as well, so that it runs better on the Analog as well. So cool, man. I know exactly what it's like to have work from 30 years ago be a current thing. I may be one of, well, Mike Micah was on the chat here. He knows that too. It's a cool deal, right? To reflect on something you did as a young person, and it still matters and it's still relevant to people today. I hope that for everyone, you know? That's why I get so dismayed, and I don't want to like soapbox here, but I get so dismayed at all of the bullshit negativity on the social media platforms and people making so much awful content about terrible things and just being terrible in their content creation. And I just don't see them looking back on that work with any sense of pride, you know, down the road. And I think people that are in the idea of like creating media to send it out to the world should endeavor to try to build something that they're going to be proud of. An Avatar guy on YouTube nails it perfectly. Says most people don't understand how hard it is to create. Yes, that is exactly right. And all of these tools for communication that exist for all of us has democratized the ability and given us all platforms. But I think people forget that you can criticize or critique or comment without being hostile, and it's awful. And you know, I think a lot of young people now, when they become a little bit older and they look back on that work, they're going to probably feel a little bit of regret. Randy says, I feel fortunate to have worked on a version of Doom that was recognized for its technical chops and brought a whole new group of users to play Doom. You should, pal. That's amazing. Congrats, and congrats on a new, you know, I can't imagine how many parents who played Doom for the first time on Super Nintendo are going to buy this cartridge, collect this thing, and then share it with their kids and talk about those days, and then let their kids kind of see Doom from this perspective. And what an enduring, beautiful franchise that game is as well. Like the most recent Doom was a blast, Dark Ages, and that, you know, Doom Eternal and 2016 Doom are just incredible stuff. Enter code 88151, Randy says, for the Rumble player. Let's do it. Right. Lindsay Ellis did a lot of takedown videos of movies, etc. in her early career, and she's basically disowned all her old content. I haven't tried the Rumble player. It's really easy to be a negative. It's so easy. It's, you know, it's a lot harder to create than hate. All All right, here we go. Here's the Rumble player. Now, what does this do? Okay, motor 1. So I'm using the limited run Rumble Super Nintendo controller. Thank you for sending this, by the way, limited run. This is so cool. And the controls have been great with this sucker, by the way. So motor R1. Okay, so you can feel it. You can maybe hear it. And then motor L2, or L1. So left and right. R8. This is great, Randy. So this is different scales that I'm getting the rumble at right now. Oh yeah. So 15, you're maxing it, you're cranking it. Okay. Cool. And then there's rumble on each of the buttons. Oh, neat. Feels like raindrops. Not that one. Oh, that's all the buttons. Gotcha. Damage. So the damage is hitting me. Cool. Cool, cool. That's so cool, man. How fun. Have you programmed rumble functions or, you know, tooled with them in a game before? Or is this the first time you're doing that? Plasma. BFG. So cool. How freaking rad is this, man? Love it. 1 is lowest, 8 is the middle, 15 is the max, damage 1. This is the first time I did rumble work. How cool, dude. What a treat of a project. This is such a cool thing. Portal Player says, I can't even imagine what the world will look like in 60 years from now. Avatar Guy says, man, think how cool 60 years from now someone will be playing this creation. Yeah, you're so right. What will they be playing it on, though? Some kind of sunglasses. Some Ray-Ban headset thing. Okay, let's enter another code and let's go to a different level here. 86012. Sorry, I'm not the world's best Doom SNES player. This takes a little acclimating. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna get so destroyed. Let's go to Fortress of Mystery and just get destroyed. Here we go. Yeah, I'm getting shot at right away. Oh no. Pea shooter. Oh, I've got the plasma gun. You guys are toast. Look at this. Awesome. Oh, back to the pea shooter. Oh, that was pretty cool. There it is. Okay. This is fantastic. You know what's rad about this is that it feels like the Jaguar version in my memory. And the Jag had way more power than the Super Nintendo. And this is what the Jaguar game feels like when I reflect on it. I haven't touched that in a long time. I played it on the PlayStation as well. I think we reviewed it on the PlayStation. Maybe not in the show. Need that. Listen to this music, man. It's like some serious production work in this. Oh, here we go. Suck it. Oh, Jesus. Okay. The difference in speed makes a big improvement on playability, Randy says. Hell yeah, man. Oh, Jesus. Hyper Mega Bomb wants to know if there's any hope for a 3DO Doom. I think that was announced or something, and it just didn't happen. are they getting me with? Go! Ah! Damn it. DC Ness says, Doom is my... If you could only play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is the answer. That's amazing, DC Ness. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm just getting dummied. Oh, my God. Okay, let's get this plasma, and let's not get trapped in a corner. I'm still not good enough to actually have a strategy playing this. I'm just sort of wailing away and getting wailed on. Yeah, one of the best series in gaming history, 100%. Portal player, you are correct. Picked up mega armor. Oh, I killed myself. This is kind of a fun level because it's like showing off the carnage, and there's lots of weapons. 200 armor. Oi! Bone Champ for Life says the music is like straight up Pantera. That's so cool. Oh! Apologize for my skills with a Z. What's in here? Oh man, they're coming at me. Damn it. Oh! All right, let's go through here. This will be a lot more chill. I'm not ready for this level. No. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's see if I can reload this card. Is it going to reload? I'll press it again. Nope. Okay. So many mazes, Portal player. You're so right. Was this playable with the Super Nintendo mouse? How would you move forward? Controller in one hand, mouse in the other? What a trip that would be. Okay. Oh, Randy says there is mouse support for this game as well. Holy crap, that's crazy. So this game then needs to come to Switch 2. That would be amazing. Are you guys talking about porting this cartridge, this version of Doom, to other platforms, Randy, or is it too soon for that? Let's just play from the beginning and see how far I go. That's where I'm at, guys. Hurt me plenty. Knee deep in the dead. Too soon for that. We're just focused on the release of the SNES right now. Super cool. It's crazy because it's like, if this is a successful and widely adopted cartridge, and I hope it is, this could almost be like a new chapter for you, starting with the chapter that started it for you in the first place. What a trip that would be. You could end up doing like a whole bunch of enhanced Super Nintendo ports, which would be so freaking cool. I've actually been thinking since that what's the name of that game? It's a PlayStation 1 style horror game from Blumhouse, and it really got me thinking about the PlayStation 1 library and how dated it looks in this photoreal 3D age that we're in, but how many cool ideas there were. I mean, case in point is Metal Gear Solid 1, that could just be benefited, just like that Blumhouse game was, from modern controls. And you could just run with the classic look, but it just controls flawlessly, and it has dual thumbstick kind of controls and stuff. And I'm thinking of games like Warhawk, and there were tons of great ideas. There was like Courier Crisis. There were all these cool PlayStation 1 games that came out that were pretty janky. I mean, the Tomb Raider Enhanced Edition is kind of a great example of that. And instead of like, you know, 50 people on a new game, you just put a group of like 5 people on something, and you refresh these classic experiences, not unlike this, and you bring them out for people, and you let people play things that they're familiar with, but in a whole new way. And I think that would be awesome. Cloud Strife in his big square hands, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty surreal working on something that was 30 years old, having to relearn all my coding tricks and techniques. I bet. Yeah, I bet. I think what a wonderful story this is. Have you heard from any of the id originals? Maybe not the Johns, but have you heard from any of the people that worked on this originally and what their thoughts are on all of this? L.A. Miller says he finally caught a live stream. Welcome. I hope you guys were all subbed up, by the way. Let me just add that as a poll to YouTube. One sec. Boom. There we go. So I've made it past level 1. Haven't heard from any of the id originals. I've tried to reach out to them, but no luck. Oh, I'm sure you will, man. I think the ball is just picking up some steam right now. It is a crowded world, you know. People paying attention to so many different things all at the same time. But they'll hear about it. John Romero's been going through his own stuff, you know. Brutal what happened to their company. Hopefully they've figured out some stuff. B-Dog, exactly. PlayStation 1 NHL games would be super fun with modern controls. I mean, there's so many. They would look chunky as hell, but that's part of the engagement, part of the fun. I think there would actually, you couldn't charge full price for some of that stuff if they were digital. Like if you wanted to print new discs and stuff, that would cost some money. But if you wanted to make them digital codes that people could download. You know, you don't charge a fortune, but you give them some decent value. The game I keep thinking about is that PlayStation 1 Warhawk game. I don't know if anybody played that, but it was mind-blowing when that came out. And it would be rad to have modern controls on something like that. Even Metal Gear Solid, you know, you refresh the controls on the original Metal Gear Solid 1. I don't know if they did that with the recent collection. I don't remember if Konami did anything with the controls. Is that true, John Yomtov? He says, "Oh my God, this level's music. I played Doom 1 plus 2 on PC with the SNES soundtrack mod. That's awesome." Oh, it's very kind of you to say, Avatar Guy. Just keep supporting this channel. Keep spreading the word. You never know what could happen. The road is long and twisty and windy, and you just never know. I've been so fortunate for so long to be able to call this the gig, call this the job, you know? Thanks to you guys. I tried Phantom Menace on PS1, on PS5. It's really tough to enjoy. Yeah, that's the challenge, right? You download those old classic things, and because the controls are so jank, it's not the visuals. The visuals are, you know, going in, they're going to look janky. It's the way they feel. Like, this feels incredible, Randy. Like, you did some magic here to make this flow, and I know that the frame rate's a big part of it, but the play of it is really good. It's really clean. Is that true, DC Nest? There are 2 secrets on this level that I went your whole life without knowing. Is the shotgun one of them? Because I just got it. Probably not. Probably everybody gets that. I know you got to just click around on the on the walls, and there's secret doors all over the damn place. Root double O. Thanks for watching then and now, my friend. All right, here we go. So this is before the game is out, too, by the way, guys. Randy's still... I don't know if Randy's still in the chat, but are you done with this, Randy, or is there still a little bit more work coming? Oh, that's so rad. Catcode Montube. Randy is still working on this as we speak. He's still working on adjusting. So for those that have just joined on YouTube, I'm streaming as well to Twitch, and Randy Linden, who is the developer behind the original game in 1995, is on the Twitch stream and answering some of the questions. This is the weirdest way to have an interview, but he's answering some of the questions live as I'm playing the game. And he's still working on the game. The game is not out yet. I've got a pre-release cartridge, which is really cool. It's like the old days, man. We used to wait for FedExes with pre-release discs and carts. And guys, sometimes we got sent those things, and then the games would be canceled. And we'd have like this code, this working code that would work on retail units, and and it was sent for preview or review, and then the publisher would say, "Nope, we're not going to go forward with that." So weird, right? But Randy is still working on this, and I think the pre-order's up on limited run right now, so you can check out what comes in the box. There's all kinds of collections. You guys know how limited run works. They are about celebrating physical media. And they've got some different options. Okay, that's a good jump. Ooh, don't step on the green. But you can check out everything that comes in the box, and it is a working Super Nintendo cartridge, so it'll work on an old school Super Nintendo console. I'm playing on the Analogue Super Nt, which is like a hardware emulation of the old Super Nintendo console. One of my favorite consoles of all time. Just a wonderful machine. I actually would love it if every game got a Super Nintendo version. I've often thought of that, actually. Like, people in the gaming space, they spend a fortune on marketing campaigns. And wouldn't it be rad to, instead of a playable, or instead of an ad for something, you know, and how clever it might be, they might spend millions of dollars on some kind of video ad of some kind, a commercial of some kind. Wouldn't it be incredible if they demade their brand new games so that they look like Super Nintendo cartridges? So you're like, what's coming up this year? Ghost of Yotai. Imagine if Sucker Punch worked with, well, they probably wouldn't do that because it's PlayStation. But what if they made a PlayStation 1 version of Ghost of Yotai, and that's what they used to help promote the new game coming out? I think that would be so freaking cool. Like, this would have been an amazing co-release with Doom the Dark Ages. And maybe there would be like one level that Randy had to make. I'm just thinking talking off the top of my dome here. But maybe there'd be one level that Randy makes for this that is like Doom the Dark Ages, you know? With some of the monsters in Super Nintendo form. I don't know. That would be crazy. There you go. Bolt Gun was like taking Warhammer Space Marine and turning it into a SNES Doom game. Yes, and that's why it was so cool, right? I am still around. Amon the Gamer. You need to check out the YouTube channel, man. You are going to flip out. There's 30 years of Electric Playground material on that channel. Every Saturday morning, for those that don't know, on our YouTube channel, we are premiering our classic episodes. We are currently in Season 6. Episode 8 premieres this Saturday. Every Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, a new classic episode goes up. And because it's premiered, it's just like this. It's like a live event. We're all in the chat talking about the games. Sometimes I have people like Randy Linden, who is the programmer, the creator of this game, is in our chat on Twitch right now. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. But sometimes, you know, people from those classic episodes jump in and join us, and it's surreal. Okay, I got here before. But yes, I once we left television in at the end of 2015, I kept going. I just pivoted to YouTube. Have been working with various cool people ever since. And YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and all the different platforms that exist. And I still do what I've always done. I review games. I interview people. I visit studios. I go to events. Been doing this for a while. Right on. Thank you for finding us. And I do a lot of old school reviews. And I think that's what I feel like that's a pretty good flow for me right now, is I'm going to stream a little bit more so I can hang out with you guys. We can check out the stuff kind of together. And then I'll put some reviews on the run videos. I'll leave the basement because I'll be in the basement a lot. But I'll leave the basement, and I just did one where I collected about 10 different things that I'd been playing and watching and stuff. And it was very much like an old school Reviews on the Run show. But it felt good, and I feel like I'm going to do that a little bit more. And I can use some of the footage from some of these streams and kind of talk about experiencing this stuff with you and on my own, because I'm also looking at movies and stuff as well. So I'll probably put another one of those videos together this week. And I've got more fun stuff to stream this week as well, so make sure you're subbed up. Bone Champ for Life says, was it cool meeting you, Suzuki? Yeah, super, super nice guy. Great question. Yeah, that was incredible, you know? Like, I mean, these people that I've been able to talk to and meet along the way, they were the heroes that I was reading about in magazines, and then all of a sudden we had a TV show that allowed me access to just these incredible conversations. And the great thing, and as we can see with Randy right now, like the people that make video games are incredibly talented and incredibly open and ready to talk, and they're not like egomaniacal movie stars, like they're just super talented, awesome, interesting, intelligent people that I've always felt deserved more recognition and more conversation. And it's been a dream to be able to, connect with these folks and put them in front of the camera, often for the first time. And guys, every day I freaking can't believe this has been my life. I feel so lucky, and I think you know that. Randy's got a split. He says ping him and we'll do a proper video chat sometime. Hell yes, my friend. Let's absolutely do that. Maybe we'll get Audie or a couple of the other folks involved in this on the horn as well. That would be a great podcast. Hello, Jadis15. Coincidence Control. Who is cooler, John Romero or George Romero? I've never met George Romero, but John Romero is pretty freaking cool. Rest in peace, George Romero. Right? He's no longer with us. Mike says blah. I don't know why, but it's all caps. And I never met Cesar Romero. I read Earth, but he was pretty freaking cool. Didn't shave his mustache to be the Joker. That's how rad he was. All right, here we go. Oh! Sweet. Last Disciple says George Romero's daughter is making a gay zombie movie. Well, if she's got the chops of her father, it's probably going to be awesome. Mucky Mucks is asking, is Metroid Prime 4 launching in 2025? Yes, it is. I think it's going to be incredible. I mean, I don't... That's my speculation. But I think it's Nintendo's big release for 2025. I think they are amping up some huge stuff around that. And presumably it will also include 2 and 3, so that you can get all the primes on one platform, whether it's Switch 1 or Switch 2. Look at those guys just hanging out. Oh! Cairo Van says, with all they've shown of it, I feel like it might slip into 2026. I think it's coming. I think they haven't shown a lot of other stuff that's coming out in 2025. And I know we don't have a release date, but I think Nintendo is priming. No pun intended. I think they're getting ready. Look, they delivered with Mario Kart World, and they delivered with Donkey Kong Bonanza. You know, we've got some RPGs and some good third-party stuff headed our way soon. But I think Metroid Prime 4 is that game. That was pretty amazing, John Yomtov. You never know who's going to pop in, right? It's so cool. Mike Micah was here too, and that's so rad. That's why I love doing discussions and looks at stuff that's been around for a little while. I would love to have like a retro day every week on EP. I think that would be so fun. Get some of the devs from back in the day. What do you guys think? Should I do that? Should I try to put that together? And today is Rare's 40th anniversary. So cool, right? I saw the announcement from Evercade with the new cartridge that they're putting out on their platforms. Ah! You will cause a commotion on what people consider retro these days. Well, I think it has to be retro from the EP days. So maybe I pick a cool segment, run that, play the game, chat with the one of the people involved in the game back in the day. Maybe the person that we interviewed on the show. Take a little bit of coordination. But I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I'm certainly trying to figure out how to make the live stuff that I create be a little bit different and a little special. But I also want to show you guys all the games, man. A lot of stuff coming in, and I've got some great indie stuff. Don't ask me to remember it all, but there's some collections that I'm going to be talking about here pretty soon as well. Right on, Spider Luke. First time chatter, I love it. If you are lurking, jump in, say hello. We have an incredible community on EP here. There we go. Okay, I need some armor and I need some health. Got a shotgun. There's some health. Get it. Okay. I'm so close to death. Is there something here? No. Randy should do Dark Forces on Super Nintendo. Lurking and working. I love it. Spider Lurk. Spider Luke, not Spider Lurk. That's great. There's almost like a GoldenEye vibe to some of this, right? You can feel like this just influenced everything. There's a button over here. Right here. Okay, there we go. How do I get that thing? I forget. Oh, is it open here? There we go. Oh, shit. Got you. I'm not doing very well with the strafing. Shotgun, excellent. Got a stim pack, yellow key. Yeah, I'll never get this. With I am impressed by Sea of Thieves. You guys are talking about Rare because of its 40th anniversary. I'll never get this idea of like acquiring a developer and then completely changing everything that they're working on. And so that the reason why, two things. The reason why you acquired that developer is the success they had on specifically Nintendo 64. So you hire them and then they're not able to make more of what made them very successful on Nintendo 64. And instead they end up working on titles that take forever. I guess they had a misstep with Perfect Dark for Xbox 360. I think they tried that, and some of the other stuff just wasn't hitting, which I get. But everything that made that company kind of special were all these different character-based games that were super fun on that N64 platform. And so you don't have them working on that. You have them working on these super expensive live service ideas. And then tastes change, and so you got to like carve out huge chunks of that company and sort of abandon it. But the stuff that made the name were confined, easy to digest, character-based action adventures, some racing stuff. And it's also the stuff that the fans of that company wanted. So why wouldn't you give them more? Let them do what they're doing. I just don't understand. And we see this happen again in the games industry. Like, let them make the stuff that they're good at, that people love, and support that. I just don't get it. That trend chasing, and the other side too is like the industry spends years and years educating players. It's like this whole physical versus digital debate. The industry taught us to think of the cartridges and the discs that we bought around games, that they were ours. And now they're changing the conversation. So much so that Nintendo's like doing polls on it. It's baffling. It's just like, keep going on what's been making you successful. Why are you trying to reinvent everything? Like, not so much the ideas behind the games, but reinvent the whole business structure and how to monetize on every level instead of just selling something and making it valuable and getting people tuned into that and continuing that conversation, which had been working. Poll was closed. Thunderpin? Yeah, I think a lot of people signed up on that poll. Don't fall in there. That killed me last time. Okay, so I want to go over here. Got my blue key. Guys, this is a really tight game to play still. Like, it's amazing. But I died, and now I got to start the whole damn thing, the whole level again. Yikes. Save points. Checkpoints. Modern addition to games that I do like. Oh, man. Oh, good question about the Saturn. What do you think went wrong with the Saturn? Well, the Saturn got caught in the too hasty, and EP and myself and Tommy were definitely a part of that. All of us that covered the video game industry back then were so eager for this 3D wave that was coming our way. And the Saturn had some good 3D stuff, but it also had a lot of great 2D stuff that they didn't feel the North American audience was really clamoring for, because everybody was all 3D all the time. Because let's be honest, we'd had lots of generations of 2D, and so this idea of moving into 3D and having, like a playable Toy Story was a pretty tremendous draw for all of us back then. And the PlayStation came out with a real elegance about it, some big ambitions. Price point was pretty good. They were very aggressive. And Sega, I was there when Tom Kalinske at E395, when Tom Kalinske announced, I was in that press conference, he announced Saturn will be on store shelves tomorrow. And there was an audible gasp. What? And the price, I think, was more than PlayStation. I can't remember. But the games just didn't look better than PlayStation. And they weren't showing too much of the Japanese 2D stuff that really has stood the test of time. And so now people that find the Saturn and check out its library are usually they haven't played too much of it, and they're going on word of mouth, and then they dive into the 2D stuff, and they see like all these awesome 2D shooters and stuff, plus the Sega arcade games as well. That was their ace in the hole, right? Daytona and Sega Rally, like excellent stuff there. Virtual Fighter, Virtual Racing. Yeah, it was a good platform. But I have to admit, even back then, I was much more pro PlayStation 1. And it's amazing marketing and the stories that it was telling. But I think that's what it was. I think it was the race to 3D, and it was such an emerging component, and it was hard. It was really challenging for developers to get into 3D. Saturn was $100 more than PlayStation 1 and had incomplete games released on it due to the rush launch. They alienated all devs with that move. Yeah, it was a lot of issues all compounded. Saturn not having proper English documentation for Western developers and not having a graphical library till a year later after launch didn't help either. A lot of issues. And honestly, and some of those East versus West elements were treacherous for PlayStation executives and Sega executives back in the day. Like there was a real disconnect between what Japan wanted and what North American marketers and North American executives wanted. And like Bernie Stoller launched the Dreamcast. It was very successful in North America, and then he was fired because of pricing decisions that he made and was aggressive on. I think he had worked with Steve Race at PlayStation, I think, back then, had helped to launch PlayStation 1. I don't know. I don't have all of this history in front of me, but there was always this slight disconnect between what headquarters wanted, and also sometimes a region would be more successful than another region, and internally there would be some fighting about that, and people maybe getting blamed for things. Not easy, man. We take for granted all of these global day one launches. If you look at what Apple has done with its supply chain and getting the iPhone out to everybody all over the world on the same day, it's pretty hard to do that. It's pretty hard. And there's been a lot of hard lessons learned. A lot of people have gone through hell trying to get these machines out there. It's not easy. And honestly, like, I've seen it. I've been covering these things for so long. I've seen, where a team will launch a machine. They'll work for a year or 2 years sometimes to kind of promote and market and show off and buzz and create hype, and then they get the system out, and then they're all gone. They leave because it's so much work. It's like, okay, ship that. I'm out. Bye bye. Don't want to do that again. Because you don't know, right? I mean, we've seen the lead change a lot. Like, was anybody expecting Nintendo to crush? Not just do well, but, like, crush with Nintendo Switch 1? I think that took the world by storm, and shocked us. How much the world was like, yeah, this is what I want. Including Nintendo. Because of the Wii U. Who knew? Rest in peace, Bernie Stolar. Jack Hopkins knew. Well, we would probably be in that group that knew, because it was exactly, like, I'll tell you, I've said this a million times, but as a person that has been traveling to go and do, visiting events and studios and stuff like that, like, the Switch 1 was like a prayer answered. And Sam I Am 111 says, no, I recall so many people shouting Nintendo is doomed when the Switch was launching. John Yomtov says, Saturn had a faster CD drive than PlayStation 1. About 25% faster? All right. Yeah, it's amazing. You play a game from 1995, and the conversations that stream out of that, it is like this thread back in time right here, isn't it? Okay. So how do I get this thing to come down? It's up there. Is it this? Oh, it came up and came down. Okay. Can't wait for Super Mario 64 1996. Oh my God, that changed everything, guys. All right, I remember, like, the 1995 Nintendo press conference, and they showed, I think they showed the N64 controller and the analog stick, and what that meant for Mario's running. And they showed the difference between a digital run cycle and an analog run cycle, and how there were layers and, levels to the animation tree of Mario. And that just blew my freaking mind, because he could kind of creep, he could crawl, and then, if you press the controller all the way, then he starts running at full gait. And it was like profound. It was so crazy. And it was all camera relative as well. So it was like the first game I really felt, and I remember saying this to broadcasters and stuff, it was like you were the star and the cinematographer and the director of what you were about to see, because you could place the camera anywhere. It was so cool. We take it all for granted now, but Mario came out, and still it took like 2 years until other developers had anything remotely close to the confidence and the comfort that game had in 3D space. Still getting crushed on this level. It was really hard to go for me to play Mario Kart or Mario 64 and then go to something like Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 1, it just felt like taking a step back in time. Even Crash Bandicoot, which was incredible, but it felt so hemmed in compared to the freedom of Mario 64. Damn it! These guys keep getting me. I don't think I have a cheat code for invincibility. I gotta just focus on playing it. Let's see. Let's get past this level. This probably looks pretty good on a phone. Is anybody watching this on a phone? Probably looks pretty sleek. And small. We're running at 20 frames per second. I didn't ask Randy about, you know, scaling this up. Not resolution-wise, but just, Shit. Who got me? Why am I dying? Alright, there you go. Okay. There's some health right there. Okay. There you go. Avatar guy says, looks good on my iPhone 16 Pro, I bet. Like, I'm pretty close to the screen here, so I see all the jaggies and the... Oh, so good, man. Those id guys are freaking geniuses. Can't see where to go. There we go. Okay. What's down here? Oh, that's if you fall down there, you get a little... Okay. Okay. So go back to the blue. Okay. Oh! Okay. Let's get some health here. Okay. Oh! No! Don't kill me! Oh! Tension is high, man. All right. Okay. This totally flies. It's a great game. God damn. 1995 Doom on the Super Nintendo. Craziness. Okay, that's going to do it for the stream today. Thank you so much for jumping in and watching me and watching me play Doom from 1995, remade by Limited Run Games and Bitmap Bureau and Randy Linden. And thank you to Randy for jumping in on the Twitch stream. That's so cool. What a fantastic project. So cool, right? Thank you guys. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you for joining up, and I hope you hit the sub button or the follow button, depending on what channel you're watching us on. But I'll be back. I'll be streaming some new stuff very soon, and I'll have some reviews on the run for you, and I will definitely circle back with Randy and some of the Limited Run guys and get an interview together for a new Vic's Basement. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channels. We will see you soon, and until then, play forever.